What is going on, everybody? It's the Frost, and we're back again with another clash in the Elestrals. Going up against a Cryo Scorch deck. Can I get the win, or will my opponent be able to take me down a peg or two? So I lost the roll in this match here. They're gonna be they're gonna be going first, which I don't know. Going first sometimes is beneficial, sometimes it's not. Honestly, I think going second most of the times would be the best way to go because you get to see what your opponent's going to do first. As I see my opponent's hand right now, which is an issue I'm seeing a lot of with webcam games. This would be something that wouldn't be probably an issue in physical games, like, in like playing in front of each other. But over webcam, the hands go forward a little bit. They're asking, are you supposed to see your hand? No, we're not. In Elestrals, I don't know any card game where you're supposed to see the opponent's hand. Unless Titanostock, which is an Elestral in the Earth realm, is on the field, the opponent is not supposed to see your hand. So my opponent is here, they're contemplating what they want to do. It is the first set of the game. They're going to set one spirit, one face down. They're going to play the Mountain of Boreas, and they're going to play the good old Cryoling. Which, honestly, in my opinion, Cryoling is definitely is not a Celestial I would play first turn, especially since its effect does not take effect, really, for the most part, until you have spirits in the underworld. But that's all they do. They go down to 18 spirits. My turn, I draw, I set one card face down, which I'm going to be honest, with most of my clashes I've done over the last few weeks, I've been not putting down my face down, my counter runes when I need to, which has hurt me a lot. I play one Toxion, burning my opponent for one spirit. So they are dropping the 17, and then I attack, destroying the Cryoling, and basically that is my turn. First turn, easy turn, get myself in. I'm in a 2 point lead right now, a 2 spirit lead, with them having 17 and me having 19. Not much more you can say. Pretty easy, pretty tame first turn for me. My opponent's going to start their turn off, drawing as usual, figuring out what they can do. Like, as this clash goes on, if they ever find a second Cryoling, they are going to hurt me big time. They do bring out a Comagma, so this Celestial lets you to draw a card and um, discard a card. Now, they forego doing that. I'm pretty sure you don't have to do um, Comagma's effect if you don't want to, but they don't this turn. So there is that. They're asking about if they have to. If I can or you may or whatever like the wording is, do you have to do it? I'm not sure if you have to do the actual effect if you don't want to. If you don't want to have to discard a card. If you like your hand what you have and drawing a card, you don't want to run that risk of having to. Then brings out the Scepter of Kione. I mistaked it as a tsunami just because of the lighting. It was late at night when we did this, and I had a pretty rough day, so I mistook it for a tsunami. So that was on me. But he does play the Scepter of Kione, which does power the Komagma up +2 attack and 1 defense, allowing him, because Komagma, if I'm correct, is the same attack of Toxian right now. So if he was to attack, they would crash and both get destroyed. But playing the Scepter of Kione is able to get his Komagma to be able to attack over my Toxion, destroying it. So there's nothing I can do there. So if I was if say I had Sonic Core in my hand right now and I want to get that Sonic Core up next turn, that's not gonna happen because Komagma is on the field with the Scepter of Keone to destroy it. If he had Keone, and now here's another thing: if he had Keone in his hand and was able to play it and enchant it, he would be able to get a second Celestial on the field and be able to attack me for one more additional spirit. So we're going over the semantics of all this right now. As they take out my Toxion, they're going to end their turn, and that is going to be that. So, after all of that, so far, I am still at 19 spirits. My opponent is down to 14 spirits after all of that. Now, yeah. I draw, and then I get the exact card that I absolutely needed for this. I play Volcaries in attack position, which is going to boost him to 4. Then, I play Hammer of Hephaestus to boost him to 8 spirits because of Comagma being on the field as well, being a fire enchanted Elestral, that does boost him up another 1 attack. Now, if I did not want to attack Comagma right now, I could be a 8. Because also the Hammer of Hephaestus being on the field on my side also boosts him up +1, or else it would be at like +7 right now. I do destroy the Comagma, which is the smart thing to do. I don't want to get him into that Cryo Scorch at all, which I'm pretty sure he does have in his hand. He does try to play a Tsunami, and I get the Chains of Prometheus out to prevent that. Now, obviously, Chains of Prometheus negates a counter ruin, but the opponent gets a spirit back from their spirit world. So that's a little bit of a trade-off for Chains of Prometheus. Like, honestly, I'm not a big fan of having that trade-off, but it is what it is. I'll take a trade-off for Counter Ruins. I expect them to get another Counter Ruin eventually again, but it's going to be like in a different element. It's going to have a different effect to it, like a different trade-off to it. So we'll figure out what happens then. So we're at 14, with everything that happened, we are even at 14 spirits coming out of my turn right there. Because basically you play the Tsunami, they negate the Tsunami, and it just gets them back to 14 spirits. My opponent then is asking a question about, I was supposed to... Ooh. Somebody is right. Okay, got that out too. Alright, so they draw. They expend 1 draw, the spirit. They think about playing Eruption coming up. They do expend the draw as they're trying to figure out. They did expend to draw. They is what they're doing right now. They're going to expend the draw. They're going to then. They do have a thought because they obviously pulled this draw. They do think about doing Eruption, but then they remember that because I have both series on the field, Eruption would be a bad spot here. You do not want to play Eruption on the field when your opponent has a Fire Enchanted Spirit, a Fire Enchanted Elestral on the field. Not a fire. Not it doesn't have to be a fire cost Elestral. If you throw say a Soilet on the field and you want to put a Fire Spirit under it, that prevents Eruption. They ended their turn. 13 spirits to them, 14 to me. I draw. I place a Necruff down in attack position, and I hit them for 2, dropping them to 11 spirits. And that's basically all I can do, especially after I set that one card down, face down. Now it's my opponent's turn. They're going to draw here. They ain't got much to play. They're not having a good turn. Like, one of the biggest things about Elestrals that you have to be worried about is the bad draw. This is why you can mulligan. This is why you're allowed to mulligan. Because as you'll see in this Celestial, this clash here, my opponent's draws for the entire match, the entire clash, were bad. They couldn't get anything. They have Cryolings in there. They got Frigid Cubs in there. They have all these other things to be able to get out to Cryo Scorch, but they haven't been able to do it just because the draws were bad. They do play Chilolotl in attack position. My opponent doesn't seem to realize you don't have to play Elestrals in attack position, which right now is fine. If it wasn't for the fact that I have a Necrof on the field, it wouldn't matter anyway. But for the most part, unless you have a way to get around something or are able to stand up, I would definitely not play any Elestrals in attack position. That's just me. Like, if I put this, I would definitely put this in defense if it wasn't for the fact that I have a Necrof on the field. It wouldn't matter, but if I didn't have that Necklef on the field, I would definitely play this Chilolotto in defense, especially if I happen to ascend into like Leonite or Blazeris to prevent extra spirit loss. So they're going to do that. I draw my next card. I'm going to grab one. I'm going to play Ambrosia. Getting all my spirits back because I am bearing a good boy with these cards today. And that's like that one Zapdos over there is the only one I'm going to expend to draw to get another draw out for me, which means I cannot cast another Elestral onto the field. And then I'm going to hit them for two. Yes, two. I'm still going to hit them for two because of Necrup's ability effect to burn the opponent for one if I destroy an Elestral, which I do with Chilolotl, and then I do with Volcaries to another one. So that is my turn there. Got my opponent down to 8 spirits, and I'm up to 14. Yeah, 14. My opponent draws. They count their spirits. They spend to draw, and they basically end their turn. They got nothing else, really. They're not having a good clash right now. Still showing their cards off. I draw. I put one face down, play Toxicon. I'm going to be playing Toxicon in attack position here to burn them for 1 spirit. And then I will hit them. I should hit them for 3 here. Yeah, I hit them for 3. I say 2. I should hit them for 3 here. Which should knock them down to 3. Yeah, I hit them for 3 here. 4. Yeah, they should be down to 2 spirits here. Then they play Warmite in attack position. They do play Warmite in attack position. And Warmite's effect is you target an Elestral and you drop their attack by 4 until the end phase. Now, obviously, the best one he could have done, because of the fact that I have Necruff on the field and he has Warmite on the field, he can't drop Volcaries down enough to be able to destroy it, so he takes the Necruff out. Because if I would have taken Necruff in, boom. I draw. I send my Toxicon into Sonicore. I get Sonicore this late in the game of the Clash. I'm really surprised I was able to even get a Sonicore up. And then I just destroy attack into him, pretty much hitting him for 2 in Spirit Differential. He's out of spirits. He's got nothing left, and that is going to be the Clash. Very interesting Clash here, as I'm explaining everything and how everything is going to go. Very interesting Clash here that could have, if he just would have got one Cryoling halfway through this game, this Clash, could have been completely different. But me getting the Hammer of Hephaestus onto Volcaries definitely put them into a pickle and a bind. If they could have got if that tsunami would have went off, that could have been something. Thankfully I had the chains of Prometheus to prevent destruction. Because let's be honest, that was his only, pretty much in this entire Clash, that was his only way to get my Volcaries off the field with how his pools were going. If I didn't have that chains of Prometheus, then who knows what happens, because yes, I would have had Necruff down the next turn, but I don't have that big bodied Volcaries right there to be able to play offense and be able to prevent anything. But then again, all it took was that one Cryover needing to happen for him to be able to get up to Cryoscorch eventually, and it just didn't happen. But that is going to be all for this Clash. I will be back tomorrow with another one. Until then, hit that subscribe button, comment down below, like or dislike this video, and I'll see you guys on the next one.